Hello. I'm back. Any chance that a certain creature has shown up in the meantime? I got those hopper things you like. They go hippity happity. And all the stuff's powered down. So you're not afraid of all that stuff being powered up. Not currently seeing signs of it. Was just kind of curious. We may not get so lucky. I was curious. We'll leave that as a project for later for now. I wouldn't list it as unsolvable or anything, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to overinvest in that right now. I just figured I'd come back the next session and see if it's cropped up. To see if that was already enough, but maybe you had to wait for a bit. Don't think I want to be in that prison cell. But that'll take me to the top floor, so I guess we gotta go back to the beginning. As far as I can tell, the hand symbol takes you to the most recently used hand symbol in that chapter, which I think we found all of them, right? So now I just need to find my way to the door, which I think I saw. I just need to figure out how to get there now. Hello. Please retrieve your key. And if I can find my way to this door, then we're in some ways essentially done with 2 of the 4 things in this game. Not counting the additional stuff in the other area, but of the 4 pillars, which we don't really know how much of the game's overall duration those 4 pillars are, but, you know, they exist. You can't actually change back into the Denis costume from your wardrobe. I think you have to go all the way back to the spot where it was originally received and like put it back on again, basically. From there. Let's see here. Have I seen you before? Oh yeah, I looked at that before. It was, yeah, is it weird? Yeah, the towers from up there are broken down. It's a hole down there. Just kind of poking around to see if there's additional details to poke out around this place. Alright, I should book it. Oh no, I'm not gonna make it in time. No, we're almost there. Please don't fall through the floor like you did before. This is supposed to maybe help. Heh. Cool. Let's use this guy. Checkpoint reactivated. Gotcha. I might go get the costume again. I'll have to just run in there and put it on again. Because I do like it. Yeah, that's definitely the door, as we've come to expect. Just gotta figure out how to get to it. Hit. Okay. So that doesn't work. This is gonna be fun. It's okay, we just gotta figure out how the heck this works. And then reloading like this every time I want to try again. Hopefully that takes me where I think it does. Please tell me you were updated when I repressed the other one. It would suck if it was the last one. Yeah, okay, there we go. I was worried it might be the last one in the sequence, in which case I'd be in some trouble. I can do it! Aha! It doesn't let you jump from that one, but lets you jump from this one for some reason. Okay. I guess. Ah. What the f... Are you okay? That was a weird moment. Do it. Do it. Cover me in your exposition.
Peace to you, mover of the least. 7 more journeys have moved you closer. I was seduced while in Denis. My humble darkness lasted only a short time before I began to bask in what I could do, what I could write. My gift, my path, the knowledge of my father and the dreams of my mother pierced a hole in the darkness, in the weakness. I was aware of my power, and I was proud. Whole worlds at my fingertips. It was the same with the Denis, the same cycle. Light opens the darkness. It takes, it uses, and it keeps. The Denis found power in these books you used to travel. They were a gift from the Maker. These ages you traveled to were their ages. Remarkable places giving life and taking life. This shadow came over them, this shadow of light, for it was in their enlightenment that they considered themselves better than the least. And we were sad for them. Can you feel the Denis there? You've touched the remnants, the remains of their pride and power. Let me tell you of King Karath. Dare I speak ill of him? One of the great kings, but yet he was the maker of the proud, for it was his system of guilds that served as the foundation of power and corruption. The powerful need control, fortresses and garrisons to guard their power, and soon the guarding is yet another thing to be proud of. Layers within layers built to preserve their ages and their pride from the weak and least who might attack from without. And yet it is from within that most nations fall. And so the mighty garrisons of Denis now stand vacant. The writing hides what's between the lines. These journeys are to help you travel between. The barrow will be returned. These pillars are our journey. The return of the pillars is the return of the barrow. The bringing away and the bringing back.
Rots from within. That is a fun visual. It's a fun little image of it exploding into itself. Whee! Oh, I collided directly with the wall on the outside. He's dead. That's it for him. Got 2 of them now. It's happening. Definitely seemed to be an ongoing thing. The Denis, I think this was reinforced before, the idea that like the Denis feared outside problems but really seemed to have more of a tendency to be their own problem above all else. Let's warp back in there. And then I can touch the warp spot that's actually inside there again and set it to be there again. And then I can put my costume on every time I lose it without having to do the additional, you know, platforming and whatnot each time. I've read the tiniest bit of the first Myst book. I haven't had a lot of time, but I have been looking at it. What is happening? What the... what? Oh, I was looking at the top of that in first person, and then my movement wasn't making sense because of that. Okay. It's interesting getting a little perspective. And one, just the inherent vagueness of a lot of the storytelling in Myst getting subverted by just reading a straight-up book that's a series of sequential, literal events, like any other normal book, is interesting. lack of ambiguity and all that. But the first one is called the Book of Atrus, and it's about Atrus, like from the moment he's born. Like his birth is the first chapter of the game, of the book. Evidently his mother died in childbirth and his father abandoned him without even naming him. So Gen, the guy who was the villain of Riven, is made even worse by us now knowing that, like, he straight up abandoned Atrus as a baby. Probably grieving over the fact that the wife died and everything. Or maybe more reason will be revealed over the course of the book, because I'm only a little bit into it, but that detail was interesting to find out about. That Gen straight up... What's happening right now? Oh. I think he got stuck on geometry and couldn't get inside. So as far as I can tell, Atrus was actually named by Gen's mother, which was referred to in the... I'll have to go back to the previous monologue again, but in the previous monologue they refer to the various people in the family of Yeesha, and in that list they mentioned Gen's mother, I believe. She mentions herself, I think, then she mentions her mother and father and what they were capable of. Then they mention Gen, and then she also mentions Gen's mother, her grandmother, or great grandmother, I guess, or whatever. I think they mentioned the mother, and the mother has significance because Gen's mother. No, I don't look like that. Take it back. Fix me. No, it doesn't work. Oh no, tragedy. Maybe I'll find it in the future. Let's move forward. But it's interesting because the Gen's mother raised Atrus in a place called the Cleft, which is a noteworthy location name because that's the first place we visited in this game, was a place called the Cleft. Which makes me wonder, I'm not far enough, so I'm wondering, like, as I go further, will I find out that that area in New Mexico was where Atrus grew up or something? Oopsie. That'll be interesting to find out. I'm curious about all that. But that might have been the significance of those weird ruins and empty rooms that seem to go nowhere. That might have been Atrus's original home, and that might be the significance of those places. I was questioning whether to talk about the books or how much to talk about the books, like what's considered spoilers or not or whatever, but the Book of Atrus in particular predates this game. It's obviously chronologically takes place before everything because it's the origin of Atrus, but the publication date is, like, I've forgotten, but I think they wrote them, they either wrote them before or after Riven or something like that. Like, it was the books came out a while ago in our timeline of us going through the series. So this might be, I'm guessing a lot of the information is stuff that just straight up won't even be covered in the games. So it's supplemental stuff you could find out about. But it's touching little stuff with Atrus's grandmother teaching, raising him to be inquisitive and to essentially engage with, like, the scientific method and stuff like that, and be the kind of scientist that he is. But his partial abandonment might speak to some of his emotional disconnection and his own inability, his own not so great parenting skills that we saw in the ensuing games and whatnot. Because, boy, he did not do a great job as far as I could tell. We've been here before. It's a matter of, like, trying to figure out how to make this all run. With all these weird connections. There's gotta be a way to make this thing do something. There's more over there. I think I went into that page already and it just gave me another piece of scenery to look at. Did you know that Atrus had a cat named Flame? First the cat's name was Pocket, and then the cat's name was Flame. And I think they're 2 for 2 on not being good at naming cats. I'm like, what in the world? It was a weird spelling, but as far as I could tell, if you pronounced it, I was pretty sure it would be pronounced Pocket. That's a really bizarre pronunciation or spelling for a name. But I want to say, like, at the age of 8, he was already doing self-motivated experiments where he would look at the sand dunes in the local area and measure their movement and figure out the angle at which the sand would fall and stuff like that over the course of time. Which some of that was really interesting because I'm like, oh look, that's some of the stuff we talked about in geology. Talking about migrating sand dunes. In particular, in our case, we discussed things like how that affects the geologic record of the area, but also, yeah, stuff like how sand grains have a specific angle at which they will fall, and there's like there's a maximum slope for a dune, and beyond that point, it'll collapse, basically. We went through all this last time. There's got to be something I can do here. Like, yes, I can move some stuff around. What can I do here first? Is there any other way out of this room? Or am I missing something in this room? Probably the nicest looking age in its theming and location and stuff. It's just a really cool looking place. But it's also probably the one I'm most currently uncertain about. Let's just make sure that you're at your current checkpoint, just in case. Or was there one up there? There probably wasn't. This is the furthest one I know from the origin point, so it's a good checkpoint spot. It came from there. There's plenty of chances to look through a thing, to then look through a circle, to then look through a thing. Which is like the puzzle of the area. Clearly. But how do I start the puzzle? Because it feels like there's like... Let's check in here again. It definitely feels like I'm lacking some ability to actually have the puzzle give me feedback or interactions and whatnot. Yeah, you're an unusual one because you link right back to where I just came from. Which means that this could be considered part of that chapter, right? It could be considered part of this chapter because of the fact that it links right back, so like there's something going on here. It's not just a weird isolated location, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do I do with you? That's a good photo of that, for my purposes. Alright. If I need to put things in that order, I'm good. Are there 6 murals on the wall? There's only 4, right? There's these things, which look a lot like what's going on in the other room, but not quite. Like, I don't think you can make quite those configurations, but I'm not totally sure. They highlighted a specific chunk of each pattern with a white zone. You are one of the symbols, most likely. Ah. Yeah, I remember now. You can't go past that barrier. So you're very restricted in your ability to navigate this area. Can't really do anything with these. That's the thing, is everything in this room seems ornamental. Like there's a bunch of visual designs. There's not much by way of things to do, as far as I can tell. What does this sequence mean? Dots come and go. I mean, they're all riffs on the design of the previous one. There's an outline on the floor, but that seems to just be... just design. Ah. This stand doesn't have anything weird going on. And you take me right back, right? The same location? They're linked directly to each other. There's power from up there. We have a light. But what beyond that point? I'm gonna say screw it. I'm gonna say screw it. Let's go back inside. I must be able to turn the 3 things into a solution, right? The murals. Let's get busy. They were nice enough to give me this thing. There we go. They must already be able to do it. Because I can't find anything to actually activate stuff around here. You're just a regular ass tree, aren't you? You might be a thing. I don't know, let's photograph everything. If it's not interactive, but it's connected in a way that means I can go back and forth, that must mean that it gives me information I need. It suspiciously feels like they're planning on expanding it further in that direction, the way that that upstairs, that just blocks you from going further. Almost like they were planning on adding more to this area. That's just stained glass, that's not useful. Alright, I already took a picture of that. Alright, well. Because I was already running with the assumption that the weird 3-panel thing must be in some way a solution for these things that I'm next to. It just doesn't feel like it's doing stuff yet. Like I would hope for like a way to like shine a beam of light through them or something like that. I guess we'll see. For now, I'll just try to implement what I have. And if that doesn't work, we'll figure out why not afterwards. One thing is, what order do I put these in? It's also going to be really hard to tell these apart. Okay, it's the one so that's the one that's currently open. So we've got that line that goes like that. We have the inner circle. It looks like that. How do I know which layer I'm on? Maybe the top one first. Yellow circle, green, purple. Can I find that kind of information around? No, there's not like a little yellow circle up here or anything like that. The lens is yellow. What? Let me move. There we go. I couldn't move. Oh. Blue dots, maybe? Blue dots. None of them have the 2 blue dots necessarily. Well, I'm currently physically at the highest place, and that's the also least complicated one. It might be that one. It is so hard to see from up here. Would definitely like to be able to zoom in or something. Get the thing to face that way. Which one is that? Is it you? I believe it's facing that way from the inside of the circle, right? Yeah. And additionally, there's a line going straight up. There's a little thing pointing in. So you go there. You go there. Oh, the line from the top, I don't have control over, do I? No, so that's always true. That gives me something to work with. Line from the top's always there. This goes around like this. That's in the position. It does seem like the two are offset from each other. The one that comes from an inside ring is offset by 1. Which one of you is from the inside ring? They both seem to stick. So you're this ring. Whereas this one doesn't visibly attach to a ring, so it's not very helpful, is it? As far as I can tell, it looks like that. Basically. Yeah. Ta-da! I did it.